Respect isn't given freely. Sometimes it must be carefully earned or thoughtfully navigated when absent. Welcome to Stoic Brains Official. I'm Johor, and today we're exploring a challenge that affects everyone from CEOs to students. How to handle people who don't show you respect. The ancient Stoics faced disrespect constantly, from emperors like Marcus Aurelius dealing with scheming politicians to Epictetus navigating life as a former slave. Their wisdom provides us with practical tools for maintaining dignity and composure when others fail to recognize our worth. In this video, I'll share 6 Stoic-inspired approaches that will transform how you respond to disrespect without lowering yourself to pettiness or surrendering your boundaries. Let's begin. The first approach begins with a fundamental Stoic practice examining your expectations. Epictetus taught that suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. When we feel disrespected, we must first ask, am I expecting respect from someone who hasn't demonstrated the capacity to give it? Consider your coworker who consistently talks over you in meetings. You feel disrespected because you expect them to value your input. But have they shown themselves capable of that awareness? Perhaps their behavior reflects their limitations, not your worth. This doesn't mean accepting mistreatment. Rather, it means calibrating your expectations based on people's demonstrated character. By adjusting your expectations, you remove the surprise of disrespect, and with it, much of its power to disturb you. When we release the expectation that everyone will treat us with the respect we believe we deserve, we free ourselves from a significant source of unnecessary suffering. We can then focus our energy on what we can control, our own responses. This shift in perspective is incredibly liberating. The second approach is practicing what the Stoics called indifference to indifference, the art of recognizing what truly matters. The opinions and behaviors of others fall firmly outside your control. What remains within your power is your response. When someone shows disrespect, interrupting you, dismissing your ideas, or speaking condescendingly, notice the automatic reactions arising within you. The Stoic practice is to observe these reactions without being controlled by them. Take a breath. Create space between stimulus and response. I personally use a mental trigger phrase. This person's behavior reveals their character, not my value. This simple reminder helps me respond from wisdom rather than wounded ego. Practicing indifference is about cultivating that ability to step aside. It's about recognizing that the insults, the disrespect, the negativity directed at us only have the power to harm us if we choose to engage with them. As Epictetus advised, make it your study to respond to every harsh impression with gentleness and tranquility. With each conscious choice to respond with wisdom rather than reactivity, we strengthen our inner resilience. The third approach is setting clear boundaries, not from anger, but from principle. A common misconception about Stoicism is that it advocates passivity. On the contrary, Stoics believed in taking principled action. When faced with disrespect, you can establish boundaries while maintaining your composure. For instance, if someone repeatedly interrupts you, a Stoic response might be, I'd like to finish my thought before moving on, spoken not with irritation but with calm assertion. If someone makes dismissive comments about your work, you might say, I'm open to specific constructive feedback, but generalized criticism isn't helpful for either of us. The key is to address the behavior directly without attacking the character, focusing on the action, not the person. This requires a delicate balance. Firmness without aggression. Clarity without hostility. Imagine a skilled diplomat navigating a tense international negotiation. They remain calm and composed, even when faced with provocations. They stand firm on their principles, yet they do so with tact and diplomacy, seeking common ground rather than escalating conflict. By approaching boundary setting with this Stoic mindset, we demonstrate self-respect and create a more harmonious environment. The fourth approach is to consider the source of the disrespect. The Stoics understood that people act according to their own beliefs, experiences, and limitations. When someone shows disrespect, ask yourself, what would I have to believe about myself and the world to act this way? The colleague who takes credit for your ideas may be operating from deep insecurity. The family member who belittles your choices may be projecting their own fears. The stranger who acts rudely may be facing challenges you cannot see. This isn't about making excuses for poor behavior, it's about understanding its root causes, which allows you to respond with wisdom rather than react from hurt. By remembering that people are often acting from a place of internal struggle, we can approach difficult interactions with greater empathy and understanding. It helps us to detach their behavior from our own sense of self-worth. The fifth approach transforms disrespect from an obstacle into an opportunity by using it as feedback. While many instances of disrespect say more about the giver than the receiver, Stoicism encourages us to ask, is there anything I can learn here? When someone dismisses your ideas, ask yourself, could my communication be clearer? When someone seems to devalue your time, consider, have I established proper expectations? This doesn't mean that disrespect is justified, merely that even unjustified criticism can contain useful information. The Stoics believed in extracting wisdom from every experience, even the unpleasant ones. So, when confronted with disrespect, ask yourself, is there a kernel of truth here, however small, that I can learn from? This approach doesn't condone disrespectful behavior, it simply recognizes that even in negativity, there can be opportunities for growth. By reframing disrespect as potential feedback, we reclaim our power and transform a negative experience into an opportunity for self-improvement. Choose to grasp disrespect by the handle that serves your growth. The final approach is perhaps the most powerful strategic disengagement. The Stoics valued human relationships, but they also recognized when interaction became unproductive. Sometimes the wisest response to persistent disrespect is to disengage, not from emotion, but from strategy. This might mean limiting interaction with a disrespectful colleague to essential professional communication. It might mean reducing contact with a family member who consistently undermines you. It might mean leaving environments where disrespect is the norm rather than the exception. Disengagement isn't weakness. It's a recognition that your energy has better places to go. Strategic disengagement is like weeding your garden. It's about recognizing the people and environments that drain your energy, create unnecessary conflict, and hinder your personal growth. It's about making the conscious choice to redirect your time and attention to relationships and pursuits that nourish your soul. Ask yourself, is this relationship or environment adding value to my life? If not, what would strategic disengagement look like? By practicing strategic disengagement, we create space for more meaningful connections and focus on cultivating a life that reflects our highest aspirations. These 6 approaches, examining your expectations, practicing indifference, setting calm boundaries, considering the source, using disrespect as feedback, and strategic disengagement, form a Stoic toolkit for navigating disrespect with dignity. The ultimate goal isn't to control how others treat you, an impossible task. The goal is to respond in ways that maintain your character and peace of mind, regardless of how others behave. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If you found value in these Stoic principles, subscribe to Stoic Brains Official for more practical ancient wisdom in modern contexts. In the comments, share which of these approaches resonates most with the challenges you're facing. Remember, respect from others is preferred but not required for your tranquility and excellence. This is Johor from Stoic Brains Official. Until next time,